You're watching the Michigan Football Report. We are presented by Manscaped, folks. Manscaped makes awesome, amazing stocking stuffers for this holiday season. Go to manscaped.com. 20% off and free shipping. You got to use promo code GOBLUE, no spaces. It's down in the comments and the description of today's video. All right, we are going to dive into your questions. It's the Michigan Football Mailbag with me, your host, James Yoder, as the Wolverines get ready to take on Purdue, the number 2 Michigan football team. Get ready a chance to take on Purdue on Saturday to win a back-to-back Big Ten Championship and get a back-to-back top 2 seed, a home team seed for the CFP for the second straight season. All right, if you guys like being 12-0, if you are pumped up about this Big Ten Championship and this national title run, 3 games to go, folks, 3 more games, win number 13 over Purdue, get number 14 in the CFP semifinals, win number 13, 14, I said 15 in LA on January 19th. Go ahead and give us a like on today's video. On the live show, getting those likes up, 257, 260 last time I watched. But if you're watching this later in the week on demand, make sure to go down, hit that like button. Keep the good vibes going for Michigan-Purdue coming up on Saturday. All right, we got a question coming in from M. Indy Bound. This is the question we saw on this channel earlier today. So this wasn't from the live show, but I did want to address it and bring it up because I thought it was pretty good. It kind of put together some content. He says, where do you think Michigan will be ranked in the 2023 preseason polls? And I took, I texted a few people. I asked some questions today from some people in and around college football insiders, a poll voter, etc. And then took the consensus of people in and around our office, college football fans and analysts here at Chat Sports, and we put together a top 10. This is mine. I made the final decision on this. This is my way early top 2023 top 10. I think that the number 1 team in the country for next season will come down to those top 2. Michigan, USC, whichever one has a better end of season run here. If USC makes it to the national title game, Michigan doesn't, they'll be number 1 next year. If Michigan makes it, wins the national title, USC doesn't, or they beat USC in the national title game, whatever it is, Michigan will be there. And then it's a lot of the same old, right? Georgia's going to lose a lot, but they'll still be very talented. Alabama, I'm going to have them as number 3, Georgia 4, Ohio State 5. They'll lose a lot, but they have a ton of talent coming back. They're really just going to replace C.J. Stroud, which they've got 2 superstar quarterbacks behind him. TCU at number 6, LSU 7. Penn State is my 8 team. I think Drew Aller will give them the opportunity to make a run at the Big Ten as well next year. And then Clemson, number 9, and Kansas State, number 10. There's a lot of other schools I consider putting there at number 9 and 10. But that's where we shook out my way too early 2023 top 10. But I want to know from you guys, will Michigan be ranked number 1 in the preseason in 2023? If you're watching this on demand later in the week, go ahead and give me a comment, yes or no, down in the description of the comments of today's video. But here on the live chat on Tuesday night, I want to see some Y's or N's. Caleb Williams, SEC quarterback or USC quarterback, Caleb Williams in the chat. He says maybe. He says, I like this one. AJ Verano says, Yoder, you're crazy putting USC at number 2. Why? They're going to have the best quarterback in college football next season. What else do you need these days? What do you base top 25 rankings on? It's what you did this year and who your coach is, what your program is, what you got coming back next year. They're USC. They're probably going to be in the college football playoff. They got the best quarterback by far at college football. And, hell, Xavier Worthy might transfer there, right? Hell, there's rumors now Travion Henderson from Ohio State's going to transfer there. I don't know if that's true or not, but they have done the transfer portal better than any school in all of college football, so I don't think that's crazy, but I want to know from you guys. Give a few shout-outs here. Wayman says yes. Joseph Molka says yes. Bill Graves with a Y. Zaire also yes. So Michigan fans, Grosse Point Michigan says N. Grosse Point, I'd love to know where you think that Michigan will be ranked. He says Ryan Buzz says only Michigan is the QB coming back, and that's why Michigan and USC are, in my opinion, most likely to be number 2. Jack, go back to it if you can really quick. Go back to that top 10 list. I'll address that as we're talking to people in the live chat. Carl says Michigan preseason number 1. Just look at these teams, right? Quarterback, yes, for Michigan number 1. USC, yes. Alabama will be a no. Georgia will be a no. Ohio State will be a no. TCU is a maybe. Okay, TCU is a maybe because Max Duggan, he wasn't an NFL prospect before the year, but he might be right now. He's got an extra year of eligibility. LSU will have their quarterback, right? Your boy's got another year of eligibility, I would assume. Penn State will have a new quarterback, but a good one, Drew Aller. one of the best 2022 recruits overall. Clemson will, but he's not that good, right? He stinks. DJ Ungale, whatever his name is, stinks. They've got a freshman, Cade Cobalclar, that's better. And then and Kansas State, right? They will have their quarterback back, but it's Kansas State. They're not as talented as Michigan. They're not having a good year. It's a 3-loss team. That is my top 10. Let me know what you guys think. I like this question. Fried Chicken Lover says, y'all effed around and woke up a sleeping giant. That is Jim Harbaugh. That is the Michigan football program. Cool Moti with a super chat says, Michigan legends start, bench, cut. Harbaugh, Brady, Woodson. Cool Moti, answers for me if you can hear me. Say, is this just their playing career, or is it just is it total? But I know, but Jim Harbaugh is a coaching legend, right? Like if you're talking about a and see if you see his comment coming in. Cool Moti, are we talking about playing or in general their life as a Michigan football person, right? Because if it's just as a player, I can answer that. Well, you know what? As we're waiting for Cool Moti to answer, I'm going to do both. It's start, bench, and cut. Harbaugh, Brady, Woodson. Is it just in and around Michigan? Football person. Oh, with that's got to include their NFL career too, then, right? Oh my God. How about this? Is it their Michigan football, or is it their entire football career? This is as tough a one as I can get. So if it's just as a Michigan football player, you would start Woodson as the Michigan football player. You would bench Harbaugh. You would cut Brady. Although Tom Brady does not get enough credit for how good he was in 98, 99, was a very close loss to Michigan State and a terrible comeback loss, Illinois in 99 from potentially winning a national title, second in 2 years. In 99, they could have gave Florida State a run for their money. You would cut Tom Brady, though. If it's total football life, okay, that's tough, man. That's tough. So if it's entire football plus coaching, like you think about this, Charles Woodson was a defensive MVP, a Heisman Trophy winner, one of the top 5 players in all of college football, and a Super Bowl. So this crazy to say. Okay. I have to say it. So just think about this for a second. Tom Brady, 2-year starter at Michigan, 7-time Super Bowl champion. Charles Woodson, national champion, Heisman Trophy winner, 17-year NFL career, defensive MVP, Super Bowl champion. Jim Harbaugh, 15-year NFL career, went to Super Bowl as a coach, going to be in back-to-back Big Ten titles, back-to-back college football playoffs. It's start Brady, bench Woodson, and cut Harbaugh. I think that's a total football life, not just Michigan, but those are Michigan guys. Unfortunately, that is the one. Guys, we got to figure out a better solution, Jack. When I do push-ups and sit-up and squats, my cords, my microphone cords get all messed up. We tape these things down for a reason, but nevertheless. So that's a hell of a question. Thank you for the Super Chat, $5, Cool Moti. And thank you to Manscaped for sponsoring today's show, folks. The Lawnmower 4.0, where is this bad boy? Look at the Lawnmower 4.0. I am not going to lie and say that I'm not going to lie to you and say that you should use Manscaped even if I don't. I do use it. I am not going to lie. My entire bathroom is Manscaped products. I've got the Manscaped shampoo. I've got the Manscaped body wash, but this is the one, right? You can take in the you feel that? You feel that, Jack? Is that making some noise? It's got the light. It vibrates. You can charge it. You kind of just trim up down there. You can trim up your chest, whatever you guys want. I love the Lawnmower 4.0. And if you do in the shower, okay, just maybe just trim up and let it go down the drain if you can't. But if you want to do it outside the shower, they give you this newspaper, right? And just kind of open it up. You put it beneath you, and with all the hair going there, and you just kind of like shake it off. Just doing these, it goes right into the trash can, the toilet, wherever you want to dispose of the hair. Manscaped has got some awesome deals. They've got amazing products. They just don't have the Lawnmower 4.0. They have tons of men's grooming products, including the Manscaped lip balm that I use all the time. Go to manscaped.com. Use promo code GoBlue. Jack just put it in the chat there. You guys see there. Go to manscaped.com. Promo code GoBlue. 20% off your order and free shipping. Make sure you guys use promo code GoBlue. Use the promo code to buy somebody a nice stocking stuffer. It's an amazing stocking stuffer this holiday season. We love Manscaping, the best male grooming products on the market. Make sure, though, you use that promo code GoBlue. No spaces. Hey, check out those boxer shorts. I wear them all the time. They're super silk-like. They're awesome. They're super comfortable. Manscaped.com. Promo code GoBlue. Chunk XD says, is this Michigan team better than any Ohio State team in the last 20 years? Funny you should say that. Because we're going to find out coming up in the college football playoff. I don't think Michigan just gets a pass because we're Michigan fans. We want this team to go, that they just kind of jump in there. But dominant, they're up there with the margin of victory and just the totality of outside of Illinois, a field goal with 9 seconds left, Michigan hasn't been challenged this entire season. And that includes Ohio State was a one-score game with 7 minutes left. So that's challenged. But look at the last 7 games, Michigan has given up 20 points. And 14 of those were to Illinois when Michigan was trying to recover emotionally from Blake Corum just going down, which would appear to be a season-ending knee injury, which it didn't turn out to be. But nevertheless, that is what we were dealing with. But 2019 Ohio State was probably the most dominant, but they lost in the CFP semifinal to Clemson. 2020 wasn't as dominant, but they made it to the national title game. 2014 really kind of lost to Virginia Tech. 2014 Ohio State. But then they won the national title in absolutely dominant fashion, won against Michigan by 14, 59-0 over Wisconsin, beat Alabama by 2 scores in the CFP semifinal against in the Sugar Bowl, and then really just stuck it to Oregon in a game that was here in Dallas that I went to in the national title game. So I'm going to go with that team. I'm going to say all things considered, right now, Michigan's the 3rd best team in the last 20 years. It would go 2014 Ohio State that won the national title, and their domination at the end of the year, I think, kind of covers up some of the non-dominance earlier in the year. And then it's 2019 Ohio State that lost in the CFP semifinal. Now, if Michigan wins the national title, they would be the only undefeated Big Ten national champion. Well, they're the only Big Ten national champion outside of Ohio State in the last 20 years. But would be the first, only undefeated national champion in the last 20 seasons. So they would go for me to number 1. If they make the national title game but were to lose, won't happen. They would be number 2, I think, behind that 2014 Ohio State team that did win the national title. Noah Wilson, by the way, Jack, I saw a question coming in from Becky and Chad, longtime viewer of the show. If you grab that one, we'll take that one here in a second if possible, with the new teams. Noah Wilson says, how long will Harbaugh coach? Very good question. Now, there is some sizable chatter, again, that I don't really even want to address, honestly, but I put it in the Slack there, Jack, didn't say it, about Harbaugh giving it another, just listening to NFL offers. Indianapolis Colts, right? There's going to be a few other teams probably. I don't know. Who else is going to fire the coach this year, Jack? The Colts obviously already have, but Broncos, right? Probably not the right fit for Jim Harbaugh. That's a hell of a division with the Raiders typically being good, with the Chiefs, with the Chargers having a hell of a good young 25-year-old quarterback. But don't be surprised if there's rumors again. I didn't think they were true last year at this time. I said, no way these are true. And they were true. They were true. Jim Harbaugh just didn't get the offer. But now it's back-to-back years that they've this isn't a fluke anymore. So he might look at the NFL. So how long will he coach? I'm going to guess here. I'm going to guess that he coaches for another 6 seasons until I do think that Harbaugh wants to leave behind a legacy that maybe Lloyd Carr wasn't able to, that Bo Schembechler did, which is groom your successor, figure out who that person is. Right now, I think the candidates right on the staff, at least, Sharon Moore, Mike Hart, or maybe Jay Harbaugh, who's all of a sudden getting chatter out there that he could be a candidate for the Western Michigan job that came available with Tim Lester getting fired a couple days. So I'm going 6 more years. Again, I see the question from somebody says, not this shit again. I'm not doing it. I got a question here, but it's out there. Should we not talk about it? I'm not the guy who interviewed for the Vikings last year. I'm not the guy who talked to Mark Davis on the phone last year. That was Jim Harbaugh. I hope it doesn't happen again. But I'm not naive enough to think that it wouldn't happen again. And I hope that Jim Harbaugh says, no, I've got something rolling here at Michigan. I'm going to step away here. But nevertheless, don't be surprised. But I hope that he doesn't, because I think it would be a very disingenuous move. And I think, how would you be able to look back at the players in the eye, the recruits in the eye, and say, hey, I did it last year. I didn't get the job. I came back. I told you I was here for good. But I did it again a year later. That would leave a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. Go ahead and give me some Bosas down in the comments. I don't know if this is going to be the end. I mean, should we keep doing Bosa? I don't know. If you give me a lot of Bosas, if we get 50 Bosas in the live chat and in the comments on demand later in the week, we'll keep doing Bosa. But I know we might retire that till after the season. It's not going to stop, because this is one of the great sports political campaign slogans of all time: beat Ohio State again. But got some Bosas. They're coming in. I think the people have spoken. We've already got like 6 and 10 seconds here. Cole Rangers is who's my Heisman. Caleb Williams, if they win against Utah. If they lose, if they lost bad for some reason, I don't know who the Heisman will go to, although Wilson might just keep it there. Cody says Bosa, Eric Bosa, IWTP Gaming, Anthony, Eric, Sean, Paul Anthony. A lot of Bosa. So I think we're keeping Bosa, Jack. We're not retiring it until after the season yet. The people want Bosa. Bosa is over, as are they. Well, yes, Ohio State, they might be over. Really interesting what's going on there with that program. 1 loss, 5 losses in 4 seasons, and they're at a crossroads there as a program. All right, we got the question coming in from Becky and Chad, longtime viewer of the show. Thanks so much for the support and always being here for our shows. With the new teams coming into the Big Ten, does this add a game to the schedule? Not as of now, right? The Big Ten redid the 2023 schedule, and the way that shook out was in anticipation of 2024 is that they're not going to have a 10-game schedule. They're still going to keep 9. But that's for 2024. 2025, they'll probably get, I expect maybe next summer, summer 2023 before the season, for them to release a USC and UCLA focused schedule. We'll know, where it's going. They'll decide on how they're going to do 2 divisions. Conference, division list, which I wouldn't like. Imagine if they didn't have any divisions now. Michigan would be playing Ohio State again. Would that be fun? That wouldn't be fun for me. But I really like an idea as Wolverine Alaska, my guy, coming in with a $10 super chat we'll get to in a second. Last year, going forward, I would like to see this idea that I've thought about for a while, which is a pod system. So if you've got 16 teams, imagine if you have 4 pods of 4 led by Michigan, Ohio State, USC, and Penn State. And you get each one of those has 3 other teams with them, and it's like this. Year 1, it's Pod A and Pod B. They all play each other. Crown 1 champion. It's champion A, champion B. Pod C and D. Then the next year, A and C are in a group together. B and D. Third year, A and D are grouped together. They play each other. And you still have crossover games. You still have 2 or 3 crossover games, and it's like Michigan's not always stuck with Ohio State. Ohio State's not always stuck with Michigan and Penn State. USC just doesn't get an easy walk because they're in the Big Ten West or something like that. Rotate it around. Make it so you're not always playing the same 6 or 7 teams every single year. Funny enough, Jack, Purdue, just as Jim Harbaugh's 8th year, they've only been on the schedule 1 time in 8 years. How is that normal? How is that normal? So this doesn't even count as a scheduled game. 2017, and this is the second one coming up in a championship game. But I would love to see a pod system where you basically have 4 teams. You basically, every 3 years, you're in a pod with a different group of 4 teams, and you've got your standards that you play every single year. I'd like to see it be Michigan, Michigan State, maybe like in Indiana. You almost got to kind of tier it out historically. Michigan State, Indiana, and Minnesota or something like that. That might be a good one. And then USC, Nebraska, UCLA, and whoever, right? We'll see what the Big Ten decides to do. But I would say, from what we're hearing, that next spring or summer, July, August next year is when the Big Ten will announce what they'll do for 2024, both from divisions and from a scheduling perspective. But I do not expect the Big Ten to go to a 10-game schedule. All right, make sure you guys follow me on Twitter. I'm going to follow back the next 10 people. Don't DM me because I just don't even track DMs anymore because it's very difficult to keep up with. If you watch this on demand, I'm going to go follow 5 of you as well on demand. We put this up on the channel here in a couple of days. But while we're live, I'm going to follow back a couple of the followers that just came through. My guy Rick Harford, appreciate that. Mike Englert. I saw that one come through. Jeremy Clore just followed me. And where's the other follower there? A lot of notifications. Got to scroll through them. Twitter does not make it easy, Elon Musk, to Ethan. And there's my 5 right there. Okay, so Rick Harford, Harfrt. It's at Rick_Harford. Just followed him. I'm going to follow Mike Englert. It's Englert, Englert, Mike, at Englert Mike. Jeremy Clore, it's at JJCLORE. Going to follow him back. Ethan, which is at eHornick, EHORNIK 7. So if you guys want to pause and play, follow some of these Michigan football fans back. And then Gary Yang 85. Gary, just like I said, at Gary Yang, YANG 85. And I might have missed 1 or 2 in there. So after we're done with the live show, I'll go back. If you're watching on demand in a few days, we will follow back 5 or so of you guys as well. Sunday, we will be live 11:45 a.m. Eastern Time for the College Football Playoff Bowl Selection Reveal. So join us on Sunday, 11:45 Eastern Time, 10:45 Central, 9:45 Mountain, and 8:45 Pacific. What does that make Hawaii time, Jack? That's like 7:45 Hawaii, something like that. Or Alaska, that's right. We saw the $10. It's 7:45 Alaska, 6:45 in Hawaii. College Football Playoff. We will know which team Michigan will play, which of the 2 College Football Playoff semifinals, either out in Arizona at the Fiesta Bowl or in Georgia, Atlanta at the Peach Bowl. YouTube.com/Michigan TV. Join us Sunday morning. We'll go right as Michigan finds out where they'll be playing, who they'll be playing against. We will take your questions live and preview Michigan's semifinal college football playoff matchup.